Step 1 is gathering our materials. For this project, you will need a pencil and eraser, some Sharpies to outline, white paper to make your drawing on, crayons that already have some of the paper peeled off for the texture rubbing, something circular like a tape roll or maybe even the bottom of a tin can so you can trace a circle. And then, of course, your texture rubbings. So I've gone outside and I've picked out this leaf that I really liked and this cardboard that I peeled some of the paper off. So if you want to use cardboard, you can actually find some like this. Peel the corner. And this makes some really good texture. Okay. So let's get started learning how to draw our monster. So I want you to know that when I'm showing you how to draw it, this is just one idea. And those pictures that are in our lesson is just one idea. I would love if your monster looks different from mine, if you take it a different route. And I challenge you to do that. But I do like to start with my eyes. So I want nice big eyes that are staring right at us. So I'm going to put my tape roll on top of my paper, get my pencil, and I am tracing the inside. Super fun. So that's eye number 1. I want this monster to have 2 eyes, but I don't want to put it just right next to him. That's a little boring. I want this monster to look like he is way up close in a camera and he is getting cropped out of the picture. So I'm going to put my tape roll a little bit off of my paper and only trace half of it so it looks like he's really close to us. This is just his eyes, but we want to add an iris or that colored part of the eye. So I'm going to draw kind of an ovally circle inside of this eye. On this one, I only want to do it as a half circle because his eye is going off the page. Now I want to add a pupil. So I'm just going to draw an oval on one side and half of an oval on that side. To make his eyes look really sparkly, I like to add 2 circles a little bit smaller than the pupil for highlights. And that is his eyes. I want the top of his head to be curved. So going on the left side of the page, I'm going to draw a curved line and end it right here so that this eye almost looks like it is going above the head. So this monster, his whole head fills this entire paper. He's not one teeny tiny monster in the middle of my page. All right. So right now, he just has some eyes. Let's give him a nose and a mouth. So for a nose, I'm just going to do a little U. For a mouth, I want him to be happy, so I'm going to do a smiley face. Maybe 2 lines on the side for cheeks. And let's add some cute little triangle teeth. Okay, so he's looking pretty good, but I kind of want to add some ears. So I'm going to add kind of a line up here, kind of curve it around. Almost looks like an upside down shoe. Just to give him some detail. Maybe I'll give him a little bit of hair. He only has a few hairs. And there we are. So I'm pretty happy with my monster right now. So I'm ready to outline him. So if you have a Sharpie, you can use a Sharpie. You could also use a black marker, or even if you don't have a black marker, you could use a black crayon to outline your lines for your monster. If you're using a marker, just put the cap on the end so you don't lose it. And I'm going to go right over the lines that I just drew. And I really love outlines because they really make my drawings pop instead of just falling into the background. It's really important that you outline your drawing before you add the crayon texture. Why? Because I've tried it. I promise you it doesn't work. If you try to add Sharpie on top of crayon, it just doesn't work. It kind of ruins the Sharpie or the marker. These are my pupils, so I'm going to go ahead and fill those in solid. Pupils are the dark part of our eyes. Okay, he is ready to go almost. One thing I really like to do to make my drawing nice and clean is take my eraser and erase the pencil lines just so I don't see them anymore, and I don't need them because I have my nice outline. So I'm using my gigantic eraser today because, of course, it's more fun, right? And you're good. Wipe it off. Okay. Before we talk about textures, I want to go over a few other options for what kind of things you could add to your monster. So let's set them aside. So I'm just going to draw some little heads, and these are just little examples. Let's just pretend these are the tops of his heads. All right, here's his eyes. Yay. Okay. All right. So on this one, maybe I will draw a third eye. I can use my tracer and I can draw a third eye, almost like a cyclops, on top of his head. You never know what you're going to get. Then you draw your eye details and all like that. You could even add 3 eyes. That's another option. You could also just add stuff like a hat. It's got a little top hat. This is a very fancy monster, right? You could also add a bow. If you want your monster to be a cute little girl, something like that. Or you could draw an eye and then just add eyelashes, just a very tiny detail. So there's many options, and this is only scratching the surface of what you could do for your monster.